Greetings, leaders. I just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge your presence and to welcome all of you for tonight's session. I trust you had a good week, you had a blessed time, and it's always a pleasure just to be able to connect together and continue sharing the knowledge, the wisdom, and also our experiences from the leadership, the various leadership perspectives. So tonight we are again ready to engage, and we'll have two sessions, and also in the course of the discussion, we'll have some time to discuss more, especially on how we are faring on in terms of our groups and the general content and the structure of the training. So I will request if we can have one of us just to say a prayer. Miriam, are you in a place where you can say a prayer for us as we start? Okay.
Yeah, we can pray. Lord, we bless you and we give you glory for another opportunity you've given us, that we may learn and increase in wisdom and knowledge of thee, our Father. We pray for this session that you may take the lead, the facilitator, that you may help him or her, O Jehovah, to facilitate it well, and all the members that are joining, O Lord, that you may enable us, that Jehovah, we may learn and increase in knowledge. And after all, Lord, the honor and glory will be unto you, our Father, that we will be equipped, O Lord, for our purposes and our work in this world, and your name will be glorified. This we pray, believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Miriam. Good. So leaders, remember we are talking about becoming global leader, and basically we are saying how we need to continuously think global, look at the bigger picture, the bigger space that we are able to occupy, and see how to package and stretch whatever we are doing to a global perspective. Lead local is basically what are the opportunities around us, what can we initiate, what can we be able to take charge of. This is now where the issue of the project proposal comes in, because for a leader, I think where there are challenges, those are opportunities for us. Where there are issues that needs to be addressed, that's how we identify opportunities, and that's how we are also able to bridge the gap between the challenges that are within our environment. We are talking about transforming the world. So all that we are doing, actually the ultimate goal is to make an impact and transform our environment for the better. I read a quote that was saying, the best measurement of success is to leave the world better than you found it. Is to leave that organization better than I found it. Is to be able to leave the spaces that we are in charge of better than we found them. And again, we are saying a better leader is always a better life. So as we continue to better our life in this kind of a setup, eventually, I'm sure all of us, at least there will be something that will improve in our life. Maybe there's some knowledge you're able to acquire, there's experience that you're able to share. There's something that you read from the book review. There's something that will pick from the project proposal, from the team interaction, that will help us become better and continuously improve. Within the Kaizen principle, again, we are saying it's about continual improvement. And there's always an opportunity for us to be able to grow and even lift our lead to a new level. Michelangelo, at the age of 87, he said, "I'm still learning, And I think that's actually the attitude of a leader, is the perspective of a leader. That there's always something that we can be able to lead. Anytime I refer the program to leaders, sometimes leaders will tell you, I've done so many programs, but I still feel there's still something that I need to be able to probably pick from the various discussion. And I'm sure even in this discussion, there's quite a lot that we are picking. And that is for the betterment of ourselves and also the betterment of the people that we are leading. So as we better ourselves, we are also bettering the life of others. That's our hope, that at the end of it all, this continual process will at least usher us to another level. So I want us to spend a few minutes probably just to reflect a little bit on the journey, where we have come from. How has the journey been? And especially, I think also looking at what we discussed last week. Can you remember lesson 11? We're talking about the power of vision. And I don't know how the lesson came out to you. I don't know if there is something that you really felt was so loud that needs really a lot of attention. And maybe it will just be good enough if we can spend maybe 5 minutes just to look back and see how that lesson impacted us, and something that we can be able to share from what we shared. There's quite a lot that we talked about the power of vision. Remember, the facilitator also shared practical examples, including the Vision 2030, and how it brought alignment within the government sector in terms of focusing the resources, focusing their energy, and also the priorities. And that's the beauty of a vision, because a vision brings alignment. And I think I was sharing last week as we were entering the session, that when we started equipping leaders, we realized that every resource we get, we channel it to the programs that can improve leaders. Every opportunity we get, it's all about leadership. So we are all thinking about leadership. We are always thinking about what else can we do that can improve our leaders, that can improve our leadership environment. And I think that concentration can only happen when there is that focus in terms of the clarity of the vision. So I may want just to open it a little bit so that we can just do a recap, just open discussion recap, look back where we what we have discussed so far. If you feel you may want to go even back a few other lessons, just feel free to take that direction. And then as we do that, I will request that we also just introduce ourselves, because we have a new facilitator with us, so that she can also know how to engage with us. So if you are able to mention your name and maybe where you serve, where you lead, and maybe your profession, and then any reflection so far from this masterclass. I think that will be fair enough. And then from there, we'll be able to pick up the discussion and continue. So allow me just to probably just go in the order of how I'm seeing the people aligned on my screen. So I'll start with Miriam, and then I'll go to Pastor Julius Kamodo, and then I'll move on to Cheriot Rotich. So let me start with Miriam, and then we'll move on. Karibu, Miriam.
Yeah. Miriam Karemi. I serve at Majestic City in media. Hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, Miriam, can hear you clearly.
Okay, I'm IT consultant. I do the computer services, that is the help desk, and also the sales of computer and accessories. I didn't hear the next part of what we are supposed to talk about.
Yeah, any reflection in terms of maybe what has been outstanding from the discussion, something that probably you felt has been very strong in our discussion, and you may want to re-echo it to the leaders.
Oh, I'm sorry. Last week I didn't make it to attend the class. And I'm yet to listen into the video.
Okay.
Which I'll listen after this. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miriam. I didn't know you are in Majestic City. That is in Joska or Kamulu?
So far,
I think we missed
Kagunda Road, stage 26.
All 26. Okay. Thank you.
It's in Kangundo Road.
Mm.
Yeah, since 26. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you too, Miriam, and God bless you. Okay, so let me move on to Pastor Julius Kamotho.
Good evening, leaders.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm Reverend Julius Kamotho. I serve at City of Grace Church, Kagio. I'm a farmer. I really appreciate this forum. I've learned a lot as a reader, leading self so that you can lead others. And in our last session, it was wonderful, whereby that our vision, you energize us, give us will, so that we can finish that which we are called for. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Julius. I'll move on to Cheriot, then Nathan.
Yes, good evening, leaders.
Good evening.
I'm Vincent Cheriot Rodich, and I'm happy to be part of you this evening. And to apologize for the last 2 or 3 sessions, I was not with you because of some commitments, and it has been my desire that I attended all the sessions without missing. So I am really, really regretting and apologizing for the same. And thank you for the coordinator for following up on me. You have been texting me through the WhatsApp. When I did not reply, you are reaching me through the text messages, and I really appreciate. So I am going to be with you moving forward, and I will purpose to commit myself to see to it that I attend all the sessions. So I will not comment so much because for the last 2 or 3 sessions, I was not with you, but also my coordinator of the group that I belong, there is something that is happening there. And I'm a teacher by profession at Ngong, but at the moment I'm in Nakuru County, very far, a place called Maunaro. So that's the place I am attending this meeting. Thank you, and may God bless you, all of you. Looking forward for a great session.
Thank you so much too. Yeah, we appreciate, that's the beauty of virtual, that we're able to connect from wherever we are. So again, you can take some time just to refer to the videos so that we are, at least we'll be updated to where we are, but we appreciate. I'll move on to Nathan, then Mr. Maneno.
Yeah, good evening, leaders.
Okay, good evening.
My name is Nathan Munyole Sirengo. I do work with ICL Lion as a financial planner. What I can say, I have learned so much about leadership, and I have realized that there is some mistakes I was doing, and now I'm able to correct some. And learning is a continuous process. I've been able to learn so many things, and also to unlearn some that were not bringing out some good leadership in me. And I really appreciate the lessons that I've been taking, and I will continue joining. I'm in Bungoma right now, but I can't afford to miss your session. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Nathan, for all the way from Bungoma. We appreciate your commitment. I'll move on to Mr. Maneno. Mr. Maneno, if you're able to hear.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's great to be with you this evening again. For the sake of our guest, Maneno John, currently in Nakuru County. I'm a counseling psychologist, and I really enjoy the training one, the training has been built my capacity, and it has been a great experience. And the previous training session we had on vision, the trainer really gave most of his personal experience. And one thing I picked out is that once you have the vision and you know what you want, where you want to go, yes, the challenges will be there, but the vision helps you to be persistent. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maneno. Yeah, persistence. And that came out very, very strong from his personal experience. Then we have Luminai, Eda, and Mr. Mwangi. So Eda, you can go first. Yeah, Eda, kindly unmute and just share one or two.
Good evening, leaders.
Yeah, good evening, Eda.
My name is Eda. Though I'm on the road, I'm just listening when I'm driving. But I've learned a lot being in training, and also for those I've invited, most of them, they are telling me that at least they are learning and they're going to continue to learn. I'm Eda Miguel from Deliverance Church, Kiviko, Ngong. That's where I'm in children ministry. And also I do printing. I'm in business studies. Thank you, leaders.
Thank you so much, Eda, and we appreciate. Mr. Mwangi.
Thank you. Good evening, leaders.
Good evening.
Nice to be with you. Another chance to work together. I'm Bernard Mwangi, cohort number 7, an alumni, and I'm glad to be part of this cohort 22. We are working together, and it is important. It is we appreciate to hear that people are adjusting, having to network with the new leaders, learning experiences from one person to the other. And we are also learning from you, because probably what we knew 1 year ago is not the same as what we are learning today, because we are getting new experiences every day. What one leader has said, perseverance and persistence, it is important to keep us going. So we shall continue to work together. Basically, we are here to give you moral support as alumni and guiding you one way or the other, so that we also get to learn from you. Otherwise, wish you a happy lesson tonight, and we will continue to coordinate and to network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mwangi. And with that, leaders, let's pick it up from there as we continue with the discussion tonight. A very, very important topic, the power of purpose in leadership. Remember, we are now at level 3. And level 3, this is where we are discussing the heart of a leader. And the heart of a leader, or the DNA of a leader, consists of what we are talking in level 3. Last week, we talked about one of the core leadership competencies, and that is the power of vision. And the power of vision is connected, so tightly connected with the power of purpose. So I'll take you through the power of purpose. We'll engage around this discussion. And I just want to encourage you, please, if something comes out strong, note it down or share it on the chat so that at the end of the discussion, at least we can review on what we have been able to pick. So let me start with just these 2 quotes, which connects what we are talking tonight about the power of purpose, especially when you're talking about leadership. And Tony Robbins says that activity without purpose is the drain of your life. Activity without purpose is the drain of your life. Actually, activity without something that connects all the activities together, we can say it becomes like a rat race, a journey that ends nowhere. And that's why this issue of purpose becomes very critical, because it connects everything towards a particular direction. And this is when a leader starts asking the question of purpose across board. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of this activity? What is the purpose of this project? We really want to see the connectedness and the bigger picture in terms of every engagement that we are having. And Roy Bennett said that if you have a strong purpose in your life, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion will drive you there. A strong purpose helps us to maintain momentum. It helps us to remain persistent. And it also creates an environment where a leader is able to excel, is able to withstand some challenges. I think as I reflect on this, I'm just remembering the story of Paul, because most of us, we are Christian and we are conversant with this. Remember the story of Paul. I think Paul is one person that would have given up if he didn't have a strong purpose. The challenges that he went through, the beatings, the persecution, the suffering, the only thing that kept Paul alive, he knew the clarity of his mission, and he knew the purpose for his mission, and he knew to which people he had been sent to. And I think leaders, with this kind of a discussion and reflection, the deeper we get this sense of purpose, the deeper it's enshrined in us. I think we are able to make it through despite the changing environment. Basically, there are three fundamental components of leadership. One of it is vision, what we talked last time. Today we're talking about purpose. And then the other fundamental component of leadership is strategy, and that addresses the issue of why. So purpose means a lot. There is so many ways of defining purpose, and I've just displayed a number of them on the screen there. And I will be interested to know which one relates with you more from these many similar names or definitions of purpose. I don't know which one relates to you more, and or even if it's outside this list. At the moment we are talking about purpose, maybe what is the key word that relates to the issue of purpose to you as a person? If we can share that on the chat, I can pick a few. Maybe I can pick 2 or 3. The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists, that's one of the definition. A person's sense of resolve or determination. Actually, we can say that a strong purpose creates a strong sense of resolve or determination. And I connect that with the story of Paul, and even the story of Moses in the Bible. He had so many challenges, but there was that clarity that we know why we are in this mission. Yeah, having one's intentions or objective, having strong intentions or objectives. So there are many others, and I'll just pick the ones that you may share on the chat, just in addition to the list that is here. Goal, I think Eunice, you are saying, I see Eunice, you are saying goal relates to you well. How about the rest? What connects with you anytime you hear this keyword purpose? I know this is something that we have discussed in so many other forums, many other different perspectives. You see basis, Chariot, Vincent, basis. Okay, and you can see the rest here. We see the motive, reason. Yeah, reason. We also see another one, a strong one here about cause. The cause. What is the cause? It's for this cause. And I think the cause connects very well when you're talking about the story of someone like David facing challenges, but because you have a strong cause, then you are able to face the challenge, regardless of how huge, how big it is. You're able to dream that big dream because you see the cause, actually the cause that is pushing you. And at some point, we might not see the big challenge or the big the obstacles, but the cause actually makes us to be able to look on the bright side of how we can be able to win. So the person who knows how will always have a job. The person who knows why will always be his boss. This is a quote by Ralph. And basically he's tried to push the aspect of how how the why, the purpose looks at the bigger picture, is able to actually drive all the other components of the organization. So how is important, but how fits into the why. Okay? And again, we are saying vision, which we talked about last week, gives us direction, destination, or the end results. What do we see as the end results? Yeah. For example, for Generational Leadership Network, what we see generational leaders. We see purpose-centered leaders. We see vision-driven leaders. This is what we anticipate. This is what we expect. And we see a population that is growing of leaders that are thinking in terms of that direction. And then purpose gives us reasons. Why should we equip leaders? Why should we focus on equipping leaders who are generational thinkers? What is the drive of and equipping such leaders? And I think if we look at this critically, we see this is about transformation. It's about transformation. So purpose gives us the reasons. We want a better place. We want better organizations. We want a better country. We want better families that are anchored on these aspects that we are talking about. And then strategy gives us approach. How do we do this? Yeah, we're doing this through trainings. We are doing this through the master classes, through the other trainings that are besides what we are offering online here. So actually, purpose is a bigger part of success. The moment purpose is clear, we always say that you are 80% towards your success, because this is the intrinsic aspect of a person, so deep in the person, that this is the person you tell you can't make it, and the person wonders, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's like telling David you cannot defeat Goliath as a leader, and David wonders, what are you talking about? What contributes to that is because of that clarity of the purpose. I'm going for this because I know what is the reason behind it. I know who is behind it. Yeah, so success is almost 80% assured if purpose is clearly defined. Yeah, the bigger picture, the motivation, the intrinsic reasons are clearly defined, and also including the issue of the vision there. So I just felt I need to refresh our memory a little bit as we try to connect the previous stories that we have shared on the importance of understanding the why behind what we do. You can remember the story of the three builders. So there were these three builders doing the same job, and they were asked the same question, but all of them responded differently. When they were asked, what are you doing? One said, I'm here to get some resources for my family. The other one said, I'm building a wall. The third one said, I'm here to build a great cathedral for the Almighty God. Same thing, different reasons. Yeah, the JFK and the janitor. I think I've repeated that story quite a number of times, and also the story about the two soldiers that were guarding a bench that was wet, yet it had already dried, and the tradition continued for a number of years until he had a leader who was able to ask the why question, and that why question brought a routine that was there for a long time to a stop. Okay, so why will always get us to the nitty-gritty of really understanding why the underlying factors. So if you do the right thing for the wrong reason or the wrong purpose, it is still wrong. Purpose for leadership is to maximize, is to optimize your inherent capacity for service as you help others optimize their own potential for the glory of God. So what is the purpose? Why are we leading? Why are we leading? One, we are leading so that we can tap into what we have, use it to serve, but at the end of it all, glorify God. Yeah, and also help the others to be able to do the same. But again, as I said, in everything that we do, there's a purpose behind it. That purpose has to be clear. I think I'll bring this later on as we continue, so that I'll be able to share something that relates to that. when I will be talking about some models ahead. JFK said that efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. So to a leader, I think this is critical. Purpose and direction, actually they they trigger effort and courage. Yeah. So when purpose, directions are clear, then they trigger efforts. People are able to voluntarily commit because they are seeing we are here for this and the benefit that it will have to the organization, to the community, and to the people. And that's how people are able to engage. People lose their way when they lose their why. Just think about that statement. Just try to think about that statement. When people lose the why of what they are doing, the why of why am I a leader, the why of why does this organization exist, the why of why are we in this department, when that is lost, then you will find that those people become misdirected. Those people are, and that's when you start seeing the toxic culture coming up, toxic aspects coming up, because there is something that is missing that connects everybody to a central place. Yeah. So, and I think leaders, this is important just to keep on watching. So when you find there is some direction that you are taking, or there is a certain culture that is coming up, which is not pleasant, then we need to quickly start seeing, are we communicating the why clearly? Have the people lost the big picture? Do we need to recast the vision again? Do we need to recast the purpose again so that we again bring people to convergence? It's like saying, no, guys, this is why we are here. Yeah. We are here so that we can transform leaders. We are here so that we can ensure that we are making leaders better. If it's probably an organization, depending on what you are offering, again, reminding the people we are here. If maybe it's a telecommunication ministry organization, you are selling phones. We are here to help people talk, people connect, people relate. Yeah, so we are looking at it from a bigger picture, not just the gadgets, but what is the purpose? Miles Monroe said the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life without purpose. And without purpose that is greater than yourself, you are more likely to serve only yourself. And this is a tragedy because at the end of it all, a tree does not exist for itself. It exists for other people. When a tree bears fruits, those fruits are to enrich other people. They are to enrich the community. And therefore, even us as leaders, as we continue to lead, that thinking around of we are having fruits that we can be able to share with the people within our environment. So without the purpose that is greater than yourself, you are more likely to only serve yourself. And this, when the leader, this is a stage that actually leaders transition beyond. And that's why we start looking not just at ourselves, but what we can do for the people. The greatest tragedy in life is leadership with a misinformed purpose, self-serving purpose. Someone said that in most cases, especially probably maybe in some cases in political leadership, we find we have dealers, maybe more of dealership, less of leadership. Yeah, it's about what do we share, what do we have in place. And I think that the interest of people sometimes is shelved, which actually should come at the heart of every leadership. And this is why we are here, so that we can continue populating this message. We can also continue seeing how far can we go in terms of influencing the various systems within our environment. Elizabeth Maina, I see your hand is raised. Elizabeth, I don't know if there is something you may want to mention or. Okay. So maybe Mr. Mwangi, maybe you can try and engage him on the chat kindly. Engage her with the chat. So there are core aspects thank you. There are core aspects that every organization and individuals need to know by heart. That is the purpose, what we are talking about, the vision, and the strategy. And this is what I started with as the fundamental components that as a person, I need to really think through these issues and really make them the drive. There is a leader we call a centered leader. A centered leader is a leader that is driven by this. It's driven by a purpose, driven by a vision, and there is a strategy. Is driven from something so deep within him or her. The purpose, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. The vision, what things look like in the future. That beautiful future that I'm seeing, and the strategy. How are we going to get there? What is the adapting plan that I have to be able to get to that destination or that desired picture? So purpose defines a leader's why, vision defines a leader's what, and strategy defines a leader's how. Okay, so just to summarize that part of what we have shared, we are saying that leadership, we cannot talk about leadership if we don't talk about purpose, if we don't talk about vision, and if we don't talk about strategy. These are the DNA of a leader. And purpose and vision, actually they make up to probably 80% of the success of a leader. When these are defined clearly, actually sometimes you find they actually drive strategy. They drive strategy. They drive people. Yeah, and they make the work of a leader to be very much easier. And this is why we are saying when we are sharpened, then we are able to get more results with little effort. Why? Because there's something we know that is helping us to know how to probably just deepen our interaction with people. Tony Robbins says that success is 80% psychology and 20% strategy. Yeah, the mechanics makes 20%, but that deep-rooted understanding, that deep-rooted communication towards the just connecting to the heart of the people really gives us the bigger component or the bigger share of success. Okay. So there is a statement here that is very important about this topic on purpose. And this is a statement by Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek is someone that I would recommend. You can search for his books. He's written very good books. One of the books he says is titled that Leaders Eat Last. Leaders Eat Last. He has also a book titled Start With Why, and many other books that he has authored. So he's a credible person in this area of leadership. And this is what Simon Sinek says, that people do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I will rephrase it like this. People may not buy what you do first until they buy why you're doing it. Why you're doing it. And this really places the why at the heart of a leader, at the heart of our communication. So in other words, people do not buy your vision until they buy your purpose. So, and I think maybe it's good just to pause here and reflect. How clear is our purpose? How clear are we communicating the purpose, either at an individual level, at an organization level, at the business level? Is it clear? Is it driving? Is it connecting? Is it something that people can sacrifice for? They can pay for? They can surrender their effort for? They can be influenced by that kind of a vision or that kind of purpose. And just think about think across the various organizations that are out there. I think of Safaricom, what they say and what they intend to achieve. Yeah, and just think of, you may rarely hear them talking about their product, but they're trying to talk about something bigger. And I think Facebook also is one organization that has been speaking at that level, a higher level. Yeah, trying to connect people. We have to be able to connect people. Google has also been talking about how they they bring the information, refine it, and distribute it to the people. And I think they are talking, when they are talking, they're actually talking for the benefit of the people, because we are addressing the people. So we also need to look at where we are not so much inward looking, but we are outward looking when we are communicating our purpose. So I'll just wish that we reflect on our purpose. Just try to look at it, see how it communicates, and see if it's really convincing. Yeah. So Simon Sinek continues to say that it's not just what or how you do things that matter. What matters more is that what and how you do things is consistent with your why. Yeah. So that's a very strong statement on purpose. There are some principles of purpose. These are also in the manual. So we are saying purpose is the central, is actually the motivating goal of life. Someone said there are people who die early in life, but they are buried late. They die at age 25, they are buried at age 60 or 70. And basically we're saying these are people who missed out, they lost the purpose of life, and they lost the passion of life. And therefore we remain mechanical for a long time. And that's a tragedy. That's something that we will want to avoid at every cost, by sharing, by awareness, by whatever means that we are able to use to reach out to ensure that we are able to help the people out there. So purpose consists of the motivating factor of leadership, and is also inherent. Everyone and everything that we do must have that component of purpose, and it's also unique. It's also manifested in potential, abilities, gift, and also in talent. They connect, they lead to something bigger. Actually, our strength leads to something bigger. So as I think through about my strength, I need to look at the bigger picture of what this strength means in terms of serving the people and also fulfilling the mission. The role of purpose. Purpose guides decisions and priorities. Yeah, purpose guides decisions and priorities. So when we are confronted with decisions to make, then we'll always consult our purpose. When we need to make priorities, then it's about purpose. And even at a personal level, if you have different events probably to attend, maybe I'll consult the purpose and see, surely, what is the best, what does my purpose inform me? What does it guide me? What does it help me in terms of where I can add more value, or where I can also gain more value? So purpose also influences behavior, values, and principle. It shapes plans. It offers a sense of direction, creates meaning. Yeah, it makes someone feel like I'm here, there's something that I'm here to fulfill. It makes someone feel that I'm important because there is something specific that it's only me who can be able to fulfill it. It also informs intentions. It ignites a sense of resolve and determination, firmness, steadfastness, drive, enthusiasm, initiative, motivation, commitment, conviction, and dedication. And what are the best stories to tell rather than the story of Moses, the story of Paul? People that looked at their purpose and they they decided to fix their eyes there. They faced so many challenges. They faced one obstacle after the other one. They faced the Red Sea, they faced many other opposition and all this, but they didn't lose sight. Why? Because there's something so deep in them that was driving them towards towards what they were working to achieve. So, and I think leaders, I will wish just we continue reflecting even as we share this, and more so at a personal level, at an organization level, and really try to think through this discussion and listen to ourselves, listen to our systems, listen to what we communicate out there, listen to what we communicate to ourselves, and just try to really have a very authentic in-house discussion so that at the end of it all, we can see what value are we going to really pick from this discussion, and what are some of the tangible actions that we can purpose to undertake. Again, what happens if a leader lacks purpose? Yeah, lack of purpose in leadership. When there is no clarity of purpose in leadership, what happens? One, we say that leader will lose the way, will lose direction. That leader can easily lose the big picture, can lose passion, conviction, character, values, can also lose love for the humanity, love for what we are doing, and love for the people that we are serving. Can also lose compassion. You might find sometimes that is when we find leaders, in quotes, who misuse people, who use people for their own benefit. So the compassion is lost because purpose is misaligned or is lost. And even motivation, vision, legacy, and eventually that leader may not have positive influence. And I think for us, we want to look at these issues from the reverse, that purpose informs us. It makes us that we are on the way, ensure that we don't lose the big picture, ignites passion, conviction, maintenance and sustenance of character and integrity. It makes us love the people, love the vision, love the work. It also ignites compassion, because a leader needs to maintain compassion as much as we are also looking at passion. We might be very passionate in something, but it should not also overrule compassion. Yeah, motivation and including the rest that are indicated there. Some of the qualities of a purpose-driven leader. One, we are saying that leader focuses in improving and benefiting humanity, and also fulfilling his or her mission or assignment. That leader leads by inspiring hope and leads towards a better future. A purpose-driven leader, again, is driven or possesses a greater sense of purpose than private ambition. Actually, they look beyond what am I just gaining to what contribution am I making? Yeah, what contribution am I making? They lead beyond personal plans and ambition to the goodwill, to the good of the people. They're also driven by a servant heart. They sacrifice in service to others. They sacrifice personal ambition for a worthy goal. Remember, leaders, we say that servant leader, they lead first, and they serve first, and it's through serving that the service ushers them to leadership. And I just want to re-echo this quote of Nelson Mandela when he said that what counts in life is not the mere fact that we lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life that we lead. So, and this really tells us that I need to keep my eyes on this. What difference what am I making? What is my contribution? What improvement am I making within the systems or within the leadership spaces? So qualities of a purpose-driven leader, again, we're saying purpose-driven leaders carve their names in the hearts of people, not just on structures or tangible. They go beyond that. Yes, they build structures, they have the tangibles, but they know and they understand that at the end of it all, it's about people. Their legacy is anchored on the minds of others, is engraved in the minds of others, where it can never be erased or depreciated, what we call dynamic legacy. They build a dynamic legacy, a legacy that is etched in the minds of people, the difference they have done in the lives of people. And this is something that will always be there. People will always talk, people will always share. And therefore, what we have done for the people will always be transmitted, will be shared, will be, the stories will continue even beyond our personal life. I remember one person that I really value, that was our best couple, a man that was really sacrificed, a man that was very down to earth, yet very resourceful. And when he passed on to glory a while ago, I remember until today, I still talk about him. He's not there. Been to many parts of this country. I've been to some countries, but I remember when I'm talking about leadership, I continue to share his stories. Yeah, so he might not have gotten to those places, but his story continues to be told. His story continues to be shared. Why? He invested in a human being, and a human being will always be there, will always be alive. And even that, when the time expire, that story will already been told to another person. And I think the best story is the story of Jesus. It has continued to grow. It has continued to be told. In our time, we'll talk about it, and then we'll pass it. Other generations will still talk about him. Yeah, so that's someone who has invested in the lives of people. Jesus took the 12, focused and invested in the 12. So we're saying purpose-driven leaders lead out of conviction and dedication. They're also intrinsically motivated. Yeah, they champion inside-out transformation. So intrinsic motivation is that fulfillment. Is that I'm achieving what I'm supposed to serve. Again, they understand that the legacy they leave is in the life they live. The legacy. Every day we are writing our legacy, and this is good to be conscious of that. And then purpose-driven leaders appreciate that mentorship and succession are the true paths to a true legacy. So allow me to conclude by this golden circle leadership model. This is also by Simon Sinek, how effective leadership is structured. And basically, effective leadership should start with why. The golden circle places the issue of why at the heart of the leader, at the center of the circle. So as we start our conversation, then the conversation should always be directed by the why. So we are getting into, we are undertaking this project, and basically why we want this project to be successful is because we are targeting to improve the life of the community. We are targeting to improve the living standard, and that now leads even to the how and to the what. But that why is what really connects with the hearts of the people. So what stands for what the tangible, or what we intend to achieve, and every organization might know what they do, the products they sell or the services. Some organizations know how they do it. Yeah, these are the processes. Yeah, the methods. But for the why, very few organizations are able to really bring this very clearly. Yeah, why they do what they do. Why is not just making money. That's a result. That's a byproduct. It's the purpose, the cause, and the belief. It's the very reason why every organization and every human being exists. So as we reflect on the golden circle, just to share a little bit about this, we are saying the golden circle shows how leaders are able to, one is to inspire action instead of manipulating. When we miss out on the purpose, we can easily get into the manipulation aspect. But when we clarify on purpose, we can easily be able to inspire the people into action. And I don't know how you feel about this, because I think even as I share personally, I'm actually looking at it and like, wow, I think this is critical. This is important. So the clarity of purpose inspires the people, influences the people, creates passion. Yeah, it makes the leader be inspired, and that inspiration inspires other leaders. So if we miss out on the purpose, we get into the manipulation business. But if we get clarity in purpose, we get into the inspirational business. So purpose, the golden circle also gives clarity to why people follow a leader. Yeah, remember the story of Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. This was shared last week. How that was so magnetic, because there's something that people could relate with in terms of why he was pushing this movement. J.F. Kennedy, the challenge to put a man on the moon. Even after the man who ventured to travel to the moon died, they still maintained the zeal to be able to champion that initiative. So the Golden Circle also focuses on triggering the inside-out motivation, transformation. It also cultivates trust and also create momentum, yeah, so that leaders are able to remain focused. So why actually represents the leader? The leader lives at the why. The leader might sometimes not be on the how that much, but the home of the leader is that inner circle, that part, the why, maintaining that communication, defining it, and then encompassing all the others to help in terms of working out the how. These are the people we call the technocrats, who are able now to take up the vision, come up with the how, refine the what, and then together we're able to work towards that. So why is the cause? Yeah, purpose or belief, while how are the actions that we take, and what is the results of the action? What can also be the vision or the impact. So those who know why need those who know how. Finally, how do we connect to purpose? And I think this is something that I may not want to belabor so much. It's something that I just want to share like thoughts, but I'm sure this is important. The sure way to discover the purpose of an invention is to ask the creator, and that relationship, the connection with our maker, with God, is one aspect that really helps us just to be able to get clarity. But I remember I said, even in the small activities that we undertake, or whatever magnitude, the activity of whatever magnitude, the issue of why is always should always need to accompany the activity so that we clarify it. But as we talk about also in terms of the divine purpose, this is why we are saying, again, our relationship is important. God has not left us in the dark to wonder and guess. We connect to our identity and purpose through God, and our purpose fits into a larger cosmic purpose, the God's grand plan. So our whatever we do actually connects to the grand plan. And that's how now we're able to tap into God's resources, because we are fitting into his grand plan. Remember the story of David, serving God's purpose in my generation. This is really very good intention looking at it. It also helps us to be able to be engaged. David said that when in the Bible records that in Acts 13:36, now when David had served God's purpose in his own generation, he fell asleep. He was buried with his ancestors and his body decayed. What a statement. What a statement that really talks about a man that had clarity of his mission and his purpose. And when he's finished the job, he actually fell asleep. He transitioned because he had achieved what he was here on earth to achieve. I remember the story of the book of Jeremiah 1:5, when God was speaking to Jeremiah and was saying, I knew you before you were formed, and I appointed you to be a prophet. It was clear from the very beginning. This was set out. And I'm sure even for each and every one of us, it's clear. It has already been set out. That's why we are actually talking about that relationship aspect, because that is really what brings the light in everything that we do. And therefore, purpose is about God and his agenda in the world through me and you. And purpose is about serving God's purpose. And it's also about serving God's people. And the spotlight is on God. When you talk about purpose, the spotlight is all about God. We get off the light and we focus our eyes to be able to really connect with the bigger picture and see how is our leadership connected to the bigger picture. So leaders, I just want to pause there. probably just for a few minutes, just try to think through what we have shared. And I feel this is a very critical topic. And I think it will be fair enough if we are able to reflect on this topic, maybe for 5 minutes. It's something that I'm sure all of us relate to at different perspective, different level, different ways of our leadership. But from what we have shared, I may want just to open the discussion and allow us just to enrich this discussion, maybe from what has come out strong, maybe from whatever you may want just to add into the discussion, so that we see how do we upscale this discussion and how does it help us as we move forward. So let me allow a few reflections, maybe 2 or 3 reflections, and then we'll move on to the next lesson of the day. So I'll just open it up. We can have 2 reflections, and then the rest can be shared on the chat. So what has come out strong in this discussion, and what can be your take home or take away, and something that you can share with the rest of the leaders tonight. So I'll allow maybe 2 people to unmute and share, and the rest of us, we can feel free to use the chat. It's just good to be able to share our reflection as well. So any reflection, any comment from your end?
Hello, Joseph.
Yes, Vincent.
I think I can comment on something.
Karibu.
As a personal reflection concerning purpose. So inspiring the way you have bring it to us, the role or the essence of purpose in leadership and even as individuals. Because sometimes you can face a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles on the way as a person, as a leader. But the only thing that will enable you to navigate through is the sense of purpose. So if you fail to, even as a person, to have that sense of purpose from within you, then you can easily succumb to the challenges that are there or as you move along in life. So you can look at it as a leader, because leadership it's not that very easy. There are challenges there. People will not appreciate you. People will criticize you. And so if you are not that strong, if you are not having that strong sense of purpose, you can easily give in. And so I find it as a person, as a leader in my own capacity, and people that I'm leading, I need to inspire them to see the cause of action, why we are here, why are we doing the same. And it has really encouraged me, because I need to make people understand why we are doing, instead of manipulating them, instead of maybe using power to make them do what you want to do. But if they get very well why, I think your work as a leader, even as a person facing challenge, can easily come out of them. Thank you.
Very, very true and very well put. Thank you so much. Let me take one more reflection and then we'll move on. Just one more reflection. Yeah, Miriam, I see on the chat you're saying success is 80% purpose and vision. Strategy, wow, there are coming so many. A strategy and plans without purpose and vision, there is no success. Mwangi, you're saying service to man is service to God. With this in mind, leadership becomes simple, enjoyable. Yeah. Okay, Elizabeth, I see my audio is not working. Sorry, Elizabeth. I wish we could be able to unmute and allow you to make a comment, but I think we'll try and see how we can facilitate or help you. But meanwhile, just feel free to share on the chat as well. Yeah, and I think these are really engaging and very insightful comments. And I just want to connect with what Vincent has said. There's a time I remember I was called somewhere to speak to some leaders in a particular church. And we didn't, actually, we discussed from a very simple way of thinking. And we approached the discussion from this angle, what we're talking about today, purpose. When I went there, this was a team that was really disengaged. Some of them were even ready to surrender leadership. They were like, no, we have served for a long time. We want other people to take over. They were demotivated, some of them. And some of them looked like they were tired. They didn't really want to continue with the leadership anymore. And when we started the discussion, actually, God helped me just to ask one question. And that one question led to something else, and it is what led to the transformation of that team. Because I asked them, why, by the way, why are we serving? Why are we in these ministries? If you are in the ministry of ladies, you are in the children ministry, why are you in that ministry? And after a lot of interrogation, we realized, they were so much anchored to the pastor that they had lost the bigger picture. They had lost the bigger picture. And we discussed for some time until finally we were able to conclude that we need to lift our eyes beyond the appointing authority. The appointing authority needs to be respected, appreciated, but there is something we also need to stretch beyond that. And when we stretch beyond that, we'll not give up, we'll not be distracted, we'll also be able to remain focused because we are seeing the bigger picture. And this is how we concluded. We decided at the end of the day, as much as we'll be sharing our achievement and our accountability to the appointing authority, the ultimate person that will share our success and our results and we are accountable to is God. And that alone shifted the whole discussion. Those people who had their resignation letter ready, they retrieved them. They said, no, I think we had gotten it wrong. We were looking so much within ourselves, and we were forgetting that there is someone greater, someone bigger that we need to focus our eyes to. And leaders, I think this is important just to look at it from the angle that we are discussing tonight, and to continuously recast this. We normally say that vision leaks and also purpose leaks. After some time, you might find people have become distracted. Many other emerging issues have come up, and we need to restore that convergence by bringing it out, shouting and saying, guys, this is why we are here. This is our vision. This is our purpose, ensuring that we don't lose sight and also we don't get distracted. Thank you so much for your comments, and allow me just to now usher in the second facilitator of tonight. So I'll allow Eunice to share her screen as we prepare. Eunice is an alumni of this great network. She graduated in Cohort 10. She's a minister, Sunday school minister, Deliverance Church, Umoja, sorry. She's also a teacher. She's done so many other, she's into so many other leadership areas. And we've served with her. She's been facilitating this lesson for a while. because we always encourage leaders just to pick one lesson that you can facilitate for some time as we continue to sharpen each other and as we also continue to enrich other leaders. So I'll allow Eunice just to come on and continue with the discussion and also maybe add anything else she may want to say about herself. Eunice, it's my pleasure to welcome you. Please continue from there.
Okay, good evening, leaders.
Good evening.
So I am privileged to be the facilitator tonight. I want to appreciate that kind of an introduction from our chair. And want to thank God even to be able to join you tonight. I am a cohort 10 alumni, and this has been home for me. Anytime I'm able to join in, it's always a lesson there's always a lesson to learn. And we thank God even for the chair who has always encouraged us. Even being a alumni, I'm able to share with you and even pick a topic that at least I can be able to share. Tonight, I'm going to share about character, and before I get settled, maybe Chair, I don't know, I'm not able to go to the first slide.
Eunice, you can move with the upward arrow on the keyboard.
Okay.
If it will move, let's try that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's moving. Continue.
All right, that's fine. So leaders, I can start by introducing myself, saying that I am a teacher by profession. Currently, right now, I'm in India as I speak to you, but I am well. I'm here because of the sickness of my husband, but he's doing very well. And I thank God for even being able to share with you at this point. I want to appreciate the level our chair has taken, level 12, that was talking about the power of purpose, the purpose. And what I picked was, we cannot talk about leadership without talking about purpose. I think that one worked so heavily for me. If I've got to be a leader, I've got to be a leader of purpose. And tonight, we are also going to look at another powerful topic, that is the power of character. The power of character, as you can see on our screen. I'm going to share with you a story here. I will just paraphrase it. It is a story about an elderly carpenter who was ready to retire. He was working as a contractor, and he told his employer that he had plans to retire. As much as the employer was not ready for him to retire, but he wanted to have a rest, enjoy with his family. And what the employer did, he asked him to build just one more house among the houses he was building, because he must have been a very good employee. He did very well in his job, and so that is why I believe the employer did not want to release him. So what he did, the contractor asked him to build just one more house before he leaves as a personal favor. So the carpenter agreed, and you could tell in his heart he was a bit reluctant, was not ready to do it, but because he had been requested to build the house, he decided to just do it. So he just did a shoddy job, probably, I imagine he went for cheap materials, and because he needed to do it fast so that he can get time to leave the job. And he just did that work very fast and went back to the employer and told him, I am done. I've already built the house. It is ready. I can imagine the employer was shocked at the speed, and he went to inspect the work as usual. So when he was inspecting the work, of course, he went around, see what he was able to do, probably noted it was not well done. But that very day that he was going to inspect, he handed in a front door key to the carpenter and told him, this is a gift to you. What a shock, what a shame. If he knew that this house that he was building was his own house. Leaders, I believe that story teaches us a lot, because of course he must have regretted why he didn't have to buy good materials like he used to do. He didn't give it the best shot that he would have done if it was, he knew it was his house. But all this is revolving around the character. And there is one thing I'll say. Yes, you could have a purpose. You are purposing to be the best leader. You have every quality of a leader. But if you are not a leader of character, it doesn't make much sense. And that is why we are learning about character. And from my observation here, you can see a man called Warren Buffett. He said, in looking for people to hire, look for 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy. And if they don't have the first, that is the integrity, the other 2 will kill you. I also went out to look for the meaning of this word just before I come to that. And I saw that character is the way someone thinks, feels, and behaves. It is somebody's personality, your personality. And as a person, you have some traits, there are character traits that you possess that will show your character. There are so many. Maybe even as we continue with the lesson, you can keep writing them on the charts, you know, those character traits that you think, if you are a person of character, you possess. And probably I could mention a few, like integrity, a person of honesty, courage, all those things. And here we have something. This is a monument, and this monument is speaking loud, where, and most of the places, historical monuments, they are placed somewhere strategic where everybody, if you want to access, you can go. And what we are learning from this is that this monument, it is just there. It is not, you cannot move it. You'll just find it there. It's an engravement. And why this monument is brought in at when we are talking about character, it's because we are told the word character in Greek, character, it is traced back 17th century, and it means it is an engrave or a mark, something that cannot be changed. It is a type or a breed. And so with this, there's nothing you can do to change it. And so this is where we are deriving the word character from, those old days, 17th century. Here we also have character is what defines you, what people it's what defines you, what people says about you. Let me see that, what people will say about you even in your absence. And at this point, we can see we have 6 pillars of character. And among them, I can see we have trustworthiness, we have respect, we have responsibility, fairness, caring, citizenship. Actually, all these are among the traits we are talking about. I've said character. In character, we have traits. So, and one of the traits, as we can see the pillars here, the 6 pillars, is to be trustworthy. Are you trusted? Are you respectful, responsible? Are you fair, caring? You know, all those things. And my request is that because there are so many, including things like being open, competence, if you remember any, you can just put in the chat and we can compare and see, because we need to own that bit of character by knowing what how we are supposed to be. On your screen, you can see an iceberg, a tip of an iceberg, and there is another chunk that is below the sea. And from this, we are learning that 10%, that is the power of character in leadership, 10% above the water. This is the leadership skills and knowledge. As a leader, we have skills, we have knowledge, we need to have for us to be able to read. But that one is only represented by 10%. The other 90% that is below the water is the leader's character. And Dr. Tim Emrose said, your skill may get you to the top, but your character will keep you there. Yes, you may go to the top because of the knowledge you have, maybe the degrees you have learned about the leadership, but it is the character that will keep you on top. And I hope you are able to learn from the ice tube that we are learning. We also see that a leader must balance leadership, academic versus leadership morality. And at this point, you know, when you're talking about integrity, we are talking about quality of being honest, you know, having a strong moral principle, or what we say ethical, you know, doing everything right, even behind closed doors. That is the best I can describe. Even behind the closed doors, you still can do what is right. Personal character, according to Dr. Tim Emrose, personal character significantly impacts on leadership image. So your personal character is the one that will impact on your image as a leader. Besides acquiring leadership skills, knowledge, traits, characteristics, to become a good leader, character is the backbone of leadership. So, and of course, you know, without a backbone, you're not stable. So for you to be a good leader, character is the backbone. We are also going to look at the power of character in leadership. And we see that moral character is analysis of an individual's steady or consistent moral quality. And because I want to know whether we are together, Elizabeth, how are you? Good evening, Elizabeth.
Sorry, Eunice. Elizabeth,
she's not able to communicate.
All right, Miriam. Miriam, are you able to communicate? Okay. I don't know, but I hope you cannot hear me. Enda was driving. Ruth Gebenji, you can unmute.
I'm okay, Eunice, I can hear you.
Thank you. So Ruth, I want you to read for me from number 1 to number 4. Moral character. I hope you can see from the charts, from the screen. Okay, Ruth. All right, let me for the in the interest of, are you ready?
Oh,
Miriam,
yeah.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, please do that. Moral character.
Yeah. Number 1, moral character or character is an analysis of an individual's study that is consistent moral qualities. Should I continue?
Yeah, move on.
Yeah, number 2, moral character primarily refers to the collection of qualities that differentiate one individual from the other. Number 3, character attributes, that is qualities, includes the presence or lack of virtues such as empathy, courage, fortitude, honesty, and loyalty, or of good behaviors or habits. But number 4, these attributes are also a part of one's soft skills.
Thank you so much. I will emphasize on 3. We are saying character attributes or qualities include the presence or lack of either empathy, the same virtues we are talking about, courage, fortitude, and probably for those who may not know what the meaning of fortitude, it is the strength of the mind, the courage in pain. You know, you still have courage even in pain. Then we have honesty, loyalty, good behaviors or habits. So these attributes are also part of one's soft skill. You know, we have the hard skill on soft skill. Again, we say, next point there is character is having the inner strength. Having the inner strength to be truthful and trustworthy, acting justly and honorably, and being consistent in the words and actions. You know, that inner strength to be truthful and trustworthy, and also being consistent in what you say and what you do. A leader character is fixed. It is also predictable in every circumstances. And this brings me back to our monument. You can predict where it is fixed. So as a leader, your character is fixed, it's predictable. You do not change with seasons, with circumstances. We can always tell how you are. A leader also, a leader of character is steady in moral values and principles. Whether the values, the moral values are dictated by maybe religion or traditions, all those. Then we have, what is a character? Again, there's also another point. A character is a commitment. Let me make sure it is on your screen. Character is commitment to set of values, standards, and principles without compromise or wavering. So the principles, values, and standards held with high esteem protects a leader. So there are those values and standards and principles which you follow without compromising or wavering because of a situation or anything. And there is another quote here which says, a leader philosophy informs a leader belief system. So belief system produces values, and values produces values produces morals, and morals inform ethics. And then ethics produce character, and character becomes a lifestyle. It becomes way of life. You know, that is how you are. You are not changing. That is the way you are. So it becomes a lifestyle. We have several quotes that we can look at to help us understand character. And one of it is from R.C. Samsel. He said, character is the firm foundation stone upon which one must build to win respect. Just as no worth building can be erected on a weak foundation, so no lasting reputation worth of respect can be built on a weak character. And then John Murray still said, let me put it there, no man can cry out beyond the limitation of his own character. So you can never go up beyond the limitation of your own character. A quote by Stephen Covey says, in the last analysis, what we are communicates far more eloquently than anything we say or do. I think we had said that earlier, that it's not even about what we are saying or what we are doing, it is what we are that is communicating more eloquently or loud enough. John Luther also said, John Luther, let me see if it's on your screen. He said, good character is more praised than outstanding talent. Most talents are to some extent gifts. Good character, I'm sorry, let me make sure you can see so that we can read together. I'm reading what John Luther said, that good character is more to be praised than outstanding talent, because most talents are to some extent gifts. Good character, by contrast, is not given to us. We have to build it piece by piece, by thought, choice, courage, and determination. And I'm sorry, it's not appearing. Yeah, there it is. I really wanted you to see that. I liked the part where it says that good character is not given to us. We have to build it piece by piece, by thoughts, our choice. It's a choice we make, the courage and determination. So we have to work on it. Then we move very fast to what G. Alan Bernard, President and Mid-Mark, said, that the respect that leadership must have requires one, ethics be without question, A leader not only stays above the line between right and wrong, he stays well clear of the gray areas. And then the good book, in the book of Proverbs 22, verse 1, it says, a good reputation is more desirable than great wealth, and favorable acceptance more than silver and gold. So it's not a matter of money, what we have, the wealth, but a good reputation. Moving on, we will look at leadership character, and I'm waiting for it to show. It's taking quite some time, but the next thing we will look is leadership character comprises of what it comprises. One, it's self-discipline. You remember we have said, and before we go to that, probably we could look at some things here we need to watch. Very, very insightful things we need to watch. A bit in, yes, yeah, there. We begin with watching our thoughts because they lead to attitude. Another one, watch your attitudes, they lead to words. Watch your words, they lead to actions. Watch your actions, they lead to habits. Watch your habits, they form a character. And then watch your character, it determines your destiny. And I believe at this point, we all know what is a destiny, what you are purposed to be, like Chairman was talking about purpose. So we need to watch all this, watch the thoughts, attitude, words, actions, habits that will lead to character, and the character will determine where we are going, our destiny. So you can imagine many people who have lost their destiny just because they do not have the character. And D. Wright, there's another quote, said, a person who values its privileges above its principles soon loses both. A person who values its privileges above its principles soon loses both. And then we can look at what leadership character comprises of. One, it comprises of self-discipline. Self-discipline, like we had said, we need to work on it. Character will not just come, it's an effort that we need to make. And first is the self-discipline, the ability to be consistent and do what is right and just regardless of emotions, popular opinion, and feelings. What a better time to think about this when we are almost going to the elections, you know. Core values, principles you live by that enables you to take a moral stand. It doesn't matter who is there, where you are, but you have got those principles that helps you to take a moral stand. No one can change you. Sense of identity, realistic self-image based on your gift, mixed strengths and personality. Also, we have emotional security, that is the capacity to be emotionally stable and consistent. Why, as leaders, why are we saying that character matters? Why does it matter for us to think about character? And we are going to look at why it matters. One, character and integrity are most valuable assets of a leader. When you talk about assets, we know what you're saying. we usually have the assets and liabilities. Assets are things we need to possess. So character and integrity are the most valuable assets we need to have as a leader. Character engenders or creates trust and shows commitment and proves ability. It also shows who a leader truly is. It shows who a leader truly is besides what he or she says or does. And I think that one is being repeated so many times. It's not about what you say, it's not about what you're doing, but what you are, what a leader truly is. And then we are looking still on why character matters. Why as leaders we are thinking and we are looking on character, why character matters as a leader. Yeah, it is. Character shapes a leader's life. Without character, every other aspect of a leader is at risk. So it's what shapes your life. Character establishes and strengthens a leader's inner life, your inner self. Character ensures private victory, that is character ethics above public victory. It's not what people know, but it is that private victory. Character protects a leader's life, vision, legacy, and reinforce impact. Still on why character matters, character confirms. I'm waiting to see whether it is appearing on your screen. Yeah, it is. Character confirms a leader's words and deeds. Character safeguards your well-being of those under the authority and influence of a leader. Character inhibits a leader from hurting those who are around him. So if you are a leader, it will inhibit you from hurting anyone around you. Character also influences morality of followers. It will also preserve the longevity of leadership. Leadership is wholeheartedly about personal development in character, attitude, and strength. Those are the skills and the resulting impact a leader makes on the followers. And the leader are also followers as they produce more leaders. Sorry for that. That is what I was reading, that character influences morality of the followers, character preserves the longevity of leadership. Leadership is wholeheartedly about personal development, that is in character, attitude, the strength, and these result to impact leader. It's also what a leader impact on the followers, and how leaders are also followers as they reproduce more leaders. There is something Mahatma Gandhi said, and I'm passionate about this one because I am in India and he was a president in India. And this is what he said, very rich words. Wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity, knowledge without character, politics without principle, commerce without morality, worship without sacrifice. Those are the 7 deadly sins. And I think this is very practical even in nations in Africa. Wealth without work, pressure without conscience, all those things. We are also going to look at leadership principles on character. leadership principles on character. There we are. It says, number one, character is the foundation of true success in leadership. So if you've got to be successful, the foundation, character is the foundation. You understand when we mean, we talk about foundation even in building of houses, you know, the base. Character protects a leader potential, charisma, gifts, and talents. The character will protect that. Character qualifies a leader, consistency and predictability. Character gives weight to a leader's communication, that is words and actions. Yes, you can be telling us so much, you can be doing so much, but what gives it weight is the character. Character attracts trust and loyalty. Character self-imposes discipline and conviction. Character integrates words, deeds, and actions. Character reinforces strategy. Character is tested in privacy. I think I mentioned when I was talking about integrity, it is doing the right thing even behind closed doors. So it is tested in privacy. Character implies power. Very powerful. And we are at a very important time even in our country, and we know we have the Kenyan Constitution, and it is important for us as leaders to know that the issue of leadership and integrity is captured in the Constitution of Kenya, Chapter 6. It is very well captured. That is the authority assigned to a state officer, what is expected of them. Also the guiding principle of a leader, of leadership and integrity, very well articulated in Chapter 6. Like it's saying that selection on the basis of personal integrity, competence, and suitability of elections, there's a word that I'm missing there. The issue of integrity and leadership is very, very critical, even in our Constitution. I may not have to read that, but it's important for you as a leader to be aware that that one is well captured. And just to know that we are together, I need to ask you a very, very good question here, that as leaders, from what maybe I have shared and from what you know, how can we build a strong character? Because we have talked about character as a very key component of a leader. How can we build a strong character? Probably if you can unmute and just share with us. We don't have a lot of time. And if you can, you still can share on the chat. And at least let me hear from you. Let me hear from you, share about how we can build a strong character as leaders, because we need to be leaders of character. Yes. Hello, I hope we are together. You can either share or unmute and tell us. Yes, Mr. Maneno. Maybe to start with, I ask you, are you there, leaders? Are we together?
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, most welcome.
Thank you. personally, from what I've learned, is that
Yes.
for me to build that strong character is to look at what John Luther says, that I need to be very deliberate on the kind of thoughts I will entertain. Number two, I have to be deliberate in the choices by evaluating what are the consequences of the choices that I'm making. And finally, I need to be courageous, because there are times you have to go against the currents in terms of the choices you are making. So that means I have to be very courageous enough to really challenge the status quo, courageous enough to be the only one who is different, even if that's what it means to take that step. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you for sharing. Very impactful. Anyone else? You can also share on the chat, or you can unmute. One more. Oh yeah, I can see something from Cheriot. I think it narrows down to individual values, how you are brought up. So family, church, and education institution should play a deliberate role in shaping the character of people, especially the young ones. Right, that is great. So we are saying, how do we build a strong character? One more person. Miriam, thank you. You are saying I have to take charge of my thoughts. That is true. It begins from the mind. Yes, thank you. And I don't know whether I'm closing in for anyone else. If no one for now, we can now look at what we have. As a leader, we can build a strong character by, one, being intentional. Being intentional in your growth. That is the soft skill. Another one is being authentic. Be authentic, cost-benefit analysis, commit to values and principles, that is a personal code of conduct. You can see it is talking about personal. Another one is practice self-discipline, accountability, support system. We are human, we need a support system. So accountability, support system, and honesty and courage. Some of us had mentioned this, honesty and courage. So this is just but a few of the some of the ways how we can build a strong character. And I like the first one, being intentional, purposing to do it. So I think there are still more. And like we have shared today, we have said that we will find out, maybe I can give you a challenge to go look for those trait characters, so that even as we vote towards being leaders with good character, you are able to tell what are these traits that we are talking about, because we are told it's either you have them or you don't have them. So for you to be a leader of good character, you must have those kind of traits. You know, like the way I'm saying, integrity. You must be a leader of integrity. You must be a leader who is honest. People trust you. A leader who is courageous. You're not afraid of what we are facing. a loyal kind of a leader, trustworthy, you know, respect, responsible, you are fair, you know, you are open, you are straightforward. You know, there are people you cannot tell, they keep changing. You are competent in whatever you do. You are warm, you are reliable, you are modest, you know, you are disciplined, like we have mentioned severally. You are self-disciplined. So I'm just mentioning those ones, and I know there's so many traits, because we need to embrace this term of character, and know that for us to be great leaders, to become global leaders who are purposeful, we just have to have the right character. And character here is critical and it is key. And I think I believe in my heart that we have been able to learn something, and that the unit about character and the topic about character will make it our personal goal to find out, even to do research on it more. So I'm so thankful even for being able to share with you this. That is marking the end of my lesson and my sharing tonight. And I would say, may the Lord bless you, even as we forge forward to being the kind of leaders that we are talking about, a leader of character, leader who can be trusted. So I'll give the meeting back to Chair, and I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you also for participating, and may God bless you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Eunice. I think we can appreciate Eunice in our own style. That was great. It has come out very clear. And thank you also for engaging. It has been very engaging. I think I may not even ask any question because we have really interacted from the very beginning. So we appreciate you, Eunice. Thank you for honoring us by coming on board to share on this critical topic. May God bless you, even as you continue to have your stay in India, as we continue also to pray for you. Good. So I think we'll bring it to a close here. But before we exit, I will wish to just make a few comments. Probably Eunice, maybe you can post the sharing now on your end. One, leaders, we are doing quite well. We are now in lesson, we've covered lesson. Today we have covered lesson 12 and lesson 13. So out of 16, we are almost there. That means next week we'll handle lesson 14 and 15. And that tells you that the other week we'll be finalizing the program. Yeah, sometimes when you talk about 3 months or 12 weeks, looks like it's too long. And then before we know it, it's up. We are almost done. So we are remaining with those few days to go. Just to point out, allow me just to show you what is the calendar. What is the calendar from this point henceforth, so that at least we're able to flow together. So this is the calendar. Yeah, so next week, that will be 11th, we'll be tackling module 14 and 15. And then on 18th, we'll tackle module 16, and we'll have a very engaging discussion on project proposal, because we'll now be getting closer to the final presentation. So the final presentation, sorry, there is a typo error there, is scheduled for 1st of September. Is that correct? Let me see, there's a date there that I missed out. Just a minute, I confirm. So from 11th, say,
18th should be 25th.
Yeah, 25th, we'll have the final project presentation, and then final online evaluation will be in first. So basically by 15th of August, we'll be concluding the masterclass. So this is how the schedule looks like. So next week will be now almost concluding. So 2 weeks to go, and we'll be done with the coursework. So we'll continue to engage you in terms of the project proposal. I know last week we discussed briefly on what is expected. We'll continue to engage with the leaders of the groups, and we be providing the support that we require so that at the end of the program, we are able to meet all the objectives, and more importantly, be able to add value to our groups and also to society. So today I'll not engage you on the project proposal because of time. We just want us to pause there. We'll share. We'll try to reach out to the leaders. This is a very critical stage. When it comes to this stage, we try to provide a lot of support because the transitioning to project proposal, and there's so much I'm sure we are all tackling. Sometimes there is a should I call it a competition for time, which becomes a challenge because we need you to fulfill this, and again your interest is also having a lot. So we'll be working together with you. We'll be trying to really engage with you as much as possible. You will see us coming to one-on-one because our intention is that all of us should get to the finishing line. So if there are challenges, we'll be there to offer our shoulder. If there are issues to be resolved, we'll try and ensure that as a team, we are able to finalize. Some of you are able to join cohort 20 and 21 last week on Saturday when they were presenting their project proposal, which were really quite engaging. And we are already looking forward to your final project proposal as a team. So allow us to pause here. Then we'll carry on the conversation on the chat. And by Thursday next week, I'm sure we'll be able to now start talking about project proposal and even looking at what the teams have prepared because of the limited time that we are having to the closure or to the end of the program. So I want to appreciate all of you and say God bless you so much. Thank you for keeping the resilience and persistence. And I think today's topics have really embedded and strengthened these key aspects. So I wish to stop there. I think on the chat, I'm just seeing some comments. Wow, someone said a motherly presentation, professionally done, kudos. Yeah, great presentation. Mr. Mwangi, when doing a self-introduction, including your profession, it's about your character. So we'll pause it there unless there is any comment, any clarification from the team. I am seeing compliments still coming on. Thank you for the session. Appreciation from the team. Good, so we can bring it to a close. Eda, anything from your end? I trust you are keeping with your team so that we ensure all of them are able to complete successfully.
Thank you, Uni, so much. God bless you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and also the leaders for being there.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you too for staying close with your team. I'm sure this one will have 100% completion as always. So thank you. I'll just request you unmute and share the words of grace as we bring this discussion to a close. So may the grace
of our Lord Jesus Christ, love of God, the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen.